there is going to be several Cadillac cars, but there is one particular car that I cannot reveal right now.
Okay.
But I will tell you that it's a global car, and it's one of those that as soon as somebody comes over there, and I think that it's going to open up around 8:30 in the morning, instantaneously they're going to get the association of this vehicle and Cadillac. But the car that's going to be there, I've not seen it. I've never seen one in person. Ultra rarely produced electric car, and it's called the Celestiq. And I could be wrong, but I think most of them are between $400,000 and $600,000.
No big deal. The Lake of the Ozarks Shootout is one of those things that when you don't know about it, you have no idea that this unbelievable event happens in the middle of Missouri. And then when you find out about it, you're like, how have I gone my whole life and not known about the shootout? I think that's a fair assessment. So there's a major car brand that is just finding out about the shootout, I think, and they're about to make a huge splash at the shootout this year. So we're doing a special episode of Take on the Lake to talk about that with my friend Chris Wilson. Chris, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Absolutely. Sorry for the awkward handshake around the
Yeah,
mic
kind
there.
of thing.
That's
Hey, we'll
good.
do
Yeah,
this thing.
right, there you go. Hey, we'll do a second take on the handshake. But if you can't tell, if you're watching the video on this, from what Chris is wearing, that's the reveal on the auto brand that is going to be at the shootout in a new big way this year, and that's your teaser. And really, Chris is going to kind of like reveal it for us. Chris, introduce yourself real quick and why you have that connection, or with the shootout and all this. So,
yeah, I appreciate it. So, Chris Wilson, and I'm a minority partner in a Chevrolet Cadillac Subaru dealership up in Kansas City. And we've talked before. We're kind of new to the lake. This is our 5th season, and our first couple seasons, I started realizing, some of the huge events that took place here, and I had never heard of the shootout before. I just was blown away by it when we first attended. And I kept saying to myself, why doesn't an event like this have a national automotive partner? And me being in the car business, I was just like, all right, this is kind of my mission. I got to figure this out. And so between the 3 brands, I was trying to figure out which brand aligned the best. And it was pretty easy for me to tell that it was Cadillac.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just...
that's the one I'd pick.
It was just like the demographics, the boating, the performance side of it. And so literally I just started cold calling Detroit executives and regional executives that maybe I had gotten an email from in some mass email, and I started soliciting them and brought them down here a couple years ago and gave them kind of the run of the show.
Had many of them been to the Lake of the Ozarks at all? They had much exposure to the lake?
They had never heard of it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
They were like, where?
Great.
What? And so I just was like, listen, I guess it was a lot of education, right?
Yeah.
It was a lot of education. And, anytime that you see like a luxury car commercial, it doesn't matter which brand it is. And Cadillac does it as well, but it's the beautiful couple or the person that comes out of the vehicle in a big metropolitan area.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
There's a valet that opens the door, and the whole.
It's very bougie, very elite feeling, and
it is right,
and urban.
In an urban
feeling,
setting,
yeah.
it kind of exudes that luxury. And when you come down and you're around boating and you look at some of the properties around here, you're just like, no, wait a minute. Maybe we're missing the market in this particular geographical area. And so when I was entertaining some of these Cadillac individuals, I would be like, you see that individual over there? And, and that individual, if you looked, maybe it was a cutoff sleeve T-shirt.
Yeah, it just looks like a dude standing on a dock, right? Just
100%.
Just like a total Midwest dude.
100%, right?
Because you're like, that dude owns that boat, right?
Right, I would say that. And I would be like, and he owns this company, and he's in Illinois, or he's in Missouri, and it took multiple times, and I'd be like, by the way, he owns an Escalade V, and it took multiple times of those examples, and then they started realizing, hey, you know what, this is a good alignment, and so their first real all-in was last shootout, where we had the 40 electric IQ full-size Escalades down here that were running around, and it created a huge buzz at the lake, right?
Oh yeah.
And everybody was like, where are all these Escalades coming from? There's a lot of confusion. And, like anything that you do the first time, it's a little rusty, right? Mm-hmm. It's one of those deals. But Hey, they doubled down. They came to the lake race, the offshore race this June. And here we are, Shootout 2026, number 38. We've got 80 Escalades running around the lake right now, and it's just incredible to see this partnership evolve.
So I mean the point of it this year is that Cadillac is making a huge presence at the Shootout. So if you're at the Shootout by anywhere that you go on land, you're very likely to, I was going to say run into, but that's a bad choice of words. You're very likely to pass or be passed by or whatever.
Yeah.
One of these Cadillacs, one of these 80 Cadillac Escalades, that Cadillac, not like your dealership or whatever,
Right.
but like the Cadillac,
Yeah.
brought down to the lake to basically connect their products and their brand with this event.
Yeah.
That's the takeaway, right? Is that they went, oh, these are a lot of our people or people that we want to be our people.
Yeah.
And they came down. So we're going to talk in a sec about some more of what they're doing. But those 80 Cadillacs that are buzzing around, the 80 Escalades, what are they doing?
Yeah, so that really brings up a good point, because I think the first impression is Chris brought all these Cadillacs down, or these are supplied by dealers, and that's not the case. So when Cadillac does an event, and I mean, for instance, they are the luxury car sponsor of the PGA Tour event, Byron Nelson Classic, and the Colonial.
Right.
And they're just about to start the U.S. Open tennis tournament. So at the end of the day, they build these vehicles specifically for events. So these are Cadillac-built vehicles. And then, of course, after the event, they are distributed amongst the 9 Missouri Cadillac dealers. But at the end of the day, these are event cars with Michigan tags on them.
Okay.
And the idea is we want to get as many visitors and spectators and fans into these Escalades and move them around the lake.
How do they get into them?
So there's different drop-off points, whether you bring your car to a parking lot and you want to get to dog days. We're going to have Cadillac shuttles to take you there.
Okay.
Yes, we will probably have a couple microbuses there just
Right.
for big crowds, but at the end of the day,
Those are nice too.
They're
Hey,
not bad.
microbuses are nice.
They are.
All right. So if you end up on a microbus, just close your eyes
Yep.
and imagine you're in a Cadillac, and maybe the next trip you'll be on a Cadillac.
Exactly. But we want to get people in those cars
Yeah.
to experience them. And then, of course, we have we call them activations, which are we have different events that where
Showcase
people
events,
showcase
essentially,
where
yeah.
people can see product.
Okay. So there's some of those happening
Correct.
this week. Like
Yes.
we're recording this on Wednesday morning, and folks are going to get a chance to check out some of these Cadillacs. And I want to hear about like what the little teaser on the models, like
Yeah.
this different ones are going to be there, and then the where and the when on some of this, because we really just want people to know that. Honestly, it's just cool.
Totally. It
like
is.
you like, and do you have to buy a VIP pass to go see them?
Nope.
Okay. So tell me where. I'm just a guy who maybe I'm in the market. Maybe I just
Yeah.
kind of want to see them.
Sure.
I could go see these.
Yeah, so if you want, the first big display that we have is Thursday night over at Performance Boat Center, which we all know is the powerboat capital of the world. And they have the kickoff shootout party. I think it's from 6 to 10.
Sounds right.
Sounds
if you
about
show up
right.
at 6,
Yeah, you're gonna be okay.
You'll be fine, and you'll stay till 10 or so, and yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah.
but there is a large display that's going to be there, and it'll have auto show characteristics. So
Okay.
if you went to the New York Auto Show or the LA Auto Show or the one in Chicago or wherever, you're going to feel like you walked into a auto show showroom for Cadillac. And they're going to be showcasing several vehicles there. I'll just say that this event is what I call, performance meets performance, right? These are performance Cadillacs that are at a performance event. So you're going to see a Cadillac CT5-V Blackwing edition, which is a very rarely produced four-door sedan. And for those Cadillac enthusiasts or, automotive enthusiasts out there, that's one of those halo cars. Like, it's a cool car to own, right? And there's going to be one there that is in a specific color that I think they've only made a handful of. So it's going to be kind of interesting.
Okay.
We're also going to have the Cadillac Escalade V, which is the performance SUV, 682 horsepower. This thing's a beast. It sounds like a Corvette when you start it up. And, you can't technically track the car, but heck, you feel like you could. But the car that's going to be there that is just, and I've not seen it. I've never seen one in person. I can't wait. Is what I call a ultra rarely produced electric car, and it's called the Celestiq. And I could be wrong, but I think most of them are between $400,000 and $600,000.
No big deal.
Yeah, it's just let's just go ahead and get the debit card out.
Yeah, swipe it, man. Swipe
and
it.
This is a handcrafted car, and it is exquisite. I've been told that if you want leather to replace the carpet in your floor, you can do that.
Of course.
It is 100% fully customizable. I think you can choose from 150 colors. And then there's some colors that you have to pay a little bit extra for that are like patented by some of the other brands out there. But at the end of the day, this is going to be just an absolutely incredible car to look at. And I think it'll be well photographed and pushed out on different socials. And I can tell you that because I've never seen one. And I think they only build, memory serves me correct, I think they build a couple a month. Wow. And the folks that order these, they're from around the globe. They're not just domestic. So it's going to be pretty incredible.
Where are they building those? Do you know where they build them?
They do build them up in Michigan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wild.
It is crazy.
That's like the old Rolls-Royce vibe of like the individual hand-built kind of feel. I mean, that's what that reminds me of, at least. Not to drop another brand in this conversation, but that's how that feels to me. It feels like the top tier.
Well, actually, it's interesting because the Escalade IQ, which is, I believe, personally one of the most sexy-looking full-size SUVs ever created. It is actually going towards that type of Celestiq where you can now, if you want an IQ, you can contact Cadillac and you can pick from over 100 colors and you can do all sorts of crazy things to the car.
Oh, cool.
Because I think customizing a high-end car is something that's very similar to the folks that are here at the lake that have these beautiful high-end boats, whether they're cruisers or whether they're performance boats, center consoles or cats. You see some of the most interesting designs out there.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Customizing is like the name of the game
100%.
With the powerboat scene for sure. I mean, guys, they have their cars match their
that's right.
Yeah,
I've seen those pictures.
Yeah. So interesting. Okay, so that's Thursday night. You can go out there and check out one that Chris has never even seen.
Not even
a
seen
Cadillac Chris has never seen as a dealer.
Correct.
So that's awesome.
Yeah.
6 to 10-ish, something like that at Performance Boat Center.
That's right.
Thursday. I'm going to go out there for a little bit.
Oh, that's
check
cool.
them out.
Well, check them out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Saturday is the other one. So Saturday is Shootout Day, and you want to see the Shootout. Like you want to go on the water and see the Shootout. But you also want to go on the land for a little bit too, because the headquarters of the Shootout is Dog Days, essentially.
That's right.
The Oasis at Lakeport, the huge amusement park that's being built, they're seeing the roller coasters go up and all that. They're kind of the joint headquarters, but of course Oasis is still a construction site, so it's not like it's hosting a lot of stuff.
Sure.
However,
they're
making it into a Cadillac, I'm going to call it a showcase, but activation site specifically for the Shootout. So tell me a little about what that is, who can go, how you get in, all that stuff.
Yeah, well, listen, I think that anybody that's familiar with Lake of the Ozarks or is here has been, waiting for the Oasis at Lakeport to continue its. And hey, it's knee deep now. I mean, we're seeing progress like we've never seen.
It's been fun to watch this year.
And so the developers behind it came to me and said, hey, we would really like to see if we could get a Cadillac display down there. Because they're roughly T-minus 1 year from probably getting a certificate of occupancy on the hotel once it's built, et cetera. And so I went back to Cadillac and I said, hey, I've got an amazing opportunity because this is going to be the home of the Shootout going forward, the Oasis at Lakeport. And, with the amusement rides and the hotel and its location right from the bridge to be able to go in the state park and watch the race, it just makes it natural. And, of course, Dog Days will always be a huge part of it.
Yeah, yeah.
But so the developers are like, hey, it's a construction site, but we're going to make it so that it looks like just an amazing Cadillac display. So right now, as we're talking, they are probably over there pouring concrete and prepping this area.
They're pouring a slab, like a
gigantic
slab for this.
Right on the water.
That's awesome.
Getting the steps ready so you can come by boat. We're going to have a drop off, like a shuttle service there, so you can come from parking lots or dog days. We will bring you over there. We're going to have a big tent. I think there's going to be a DJ there. There's going to be probably some beverages that you can partake in, and there is going to be several Cadillac cars, but there is one particular car that I cannot reveal right now.
Okay.
But I will tell you that it's a global car, and it's one of those that as soon as somebody comes over there, and I think that it's going to open up around 8:30 in the morning, instantaneously they're going to get the association of this vehicle and Cadillac.
Awesome.
And it's possible that either late Friday night or Saturday morning prior to that event over there, that there may be some teaser material that comes out.
Okay, so watch the socials.
Watch the socials. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Hop into Lake Expo. Get on Facebook. Check it out, because at the end of the day, there's going to be some content pushed.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
everybody's
we're going to be rolling some of that out.
We're going to be rolling some
You
of
told
it
me
out.
a little about it, so as soon as we see what y'all are teasing out, it's going to be on Lake Expo, so everybody can watch. This is my plug. Watch Lake Expo socials
100%.
for that, because we'll be pumping that, because that's it. What you've told me that we can't say yet makes it sound freaking awesome.
Yeah, listen, we know there's going to be a ton of people on the water, but because of the fact that the location of this event is really cool now, because it allows boaters to come and go, right? So if somebody wants to come over to Dog Days or they just want to go home, but I would strongly suggest, Big Thunder Company, they have put over, I believe, over 200 slips over there at the Oasis. There's plenty of parking.
So you can boat. You could go to the shootout for a while. I mean, people come and go from the flotilla or whatever
100%.
before you make it to the shootout way, but you could boat up to the Oasis.
Yep.
And hop out.
Yep.
And go stroll this Cadillac showcase event where they'll have all these cars, including one that we cannot say because it's so awesome.
Yeah, and then, hey, leave your boat there for a minute, hop in an Escalade, and we'll take you over to Dog Days. And then you can go over there and, have a bite to eat, grab a T-shirt or something.
Yeah, cruise the vendor village. That's
Yeah.
always nice, and then go back to the dock and cruise out to the shootout.
100%. So
All right, that's like a must on the agenda.
I think
if
it is a
people are
must.
coming
I think
to the
it's a
shootout,
must.
you got to swing by.
Yeah.
How many dock slips did you say were at Oasis?
I was told, now I can't verify that, but I've been told there's over 200 right now.
Okay.
And I'm not sure every one of them is there yet, because they're still doing some modifications and construction. But I think that
Lots
everybody...
of space at Oasis, lots of space at Dog Days.
100%.
Worth it to find a spot.
Yeah, totally. You've got to come by and see it. And I think that once you see it, you're going to be like, okay, this was worth it, okay? Because it is one of those things that, well, I've never seen one.
Yeah.
Another car I've never seen.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's something that you'll see that has this global connection with the brand of Cadillac. And instantaneously, you'll understand what I'm talking about.
Well, that's extremely cool. I commend you for pumping up the shootout to these folks that should have known about it, but you don't know till you know.
True.
So now they know about it, and they know about it so much that they want to be here and make this monster splash at the shootout. So well done. Nice job on getting the Cadillac guys out here. That's great.
Well, I appreciate that. I mean, it takes a partnership, and I think that one of the things that they've recognized over the last 18 to 24 months is the number of vehicles we've actually sold to individuals that, either visit the lake area or live here or have, secondary or tertiary homes. And so they know that this just lines up really well for them. And I think that when you come over to Saturday, you're going to understand even better what I'm talking about when it comes to performance meets performance. And hey, listen, I mean, I think they've totally figured out that the Midwest is a hidden secret, right?
Oh, yeah.
I call this area, I think this is the greatest lake in the world, but I mean, I'm not a world traveler, so I don't know. But I just think there's something for everybody to do here. And some of the key events that we have here, whether they're on land or on water, just makes this place so special. Mm-hmm. And then when you bring in a national brand that is going to be here year after year or after year, it just tells you that the alignment just works out really well.
Yeah. Yeah, the sooner you stop calling the Midwest flyover country, by the way, the sooner you realize the opportunity that is out here and actually just how freaking awesome it is. And frankly, it's better than the West Coast and the East Coast combined. So there you go.
Good point.
My hot take.
There you go.
But that's cool. I like performance meets performance. Is that the official tagline here? Is that what we're going with? I like that. That's good. That's good.
I actually think that I dreamed that up and I came up with it because, like, I think when we did this last year, it was luxury meets performance, right? Because I felt like the IQ was just exuded that luxury feel. And then this year I was like, performance meets performance because of the fact that we've got all these internal combustion engines and we've got all these Escalade Vs, which are the high performance SUV on the market. And by the way, they only make 2,200 Escalade Vs. I mean, it is not a mass produced vehicle. So in Cadillac cut production about 20% this year. Some of that was by design because we're moving some product around. But at the end of the day, the Escalade is still a highly regarded, like, you have an Escalade? Wow. Right? Because there just aren't many of them out there.
Yep.
So,
excellent. Yeah. Thanks for coming on and talking about this. I'm excited to go see him on Thursday. Performance meets performance at Performance, actually, on Thursday.
That's right.
And then at Oasis on Saturday.
Yes.
So make plans to be at one or both of those. Again, it sounds like there will be at least one car there on Saturday that won't even be there on Thursday.
That's correct. It won't be
just go to both, and then you're covered. So super cool. Excited to see what Cadillac has in store. Stay tuned on the socials, but obviously make plans to show up in person. Chris, thanks for coming on, man.
Hey, thank you for having me again. We appreciate it.
Glad to talk about this. And again, some really fun, cool, exciting stuff happening at the Shootout. And it's fun to just see like new things happening and developing.
Yeah.
And more people figuring it out, more big brands figuring out that the Shootout, the Midwest, Lake of the Ozarks is something truly special.
No doubt about it. I mean, hey, on closing for me, the Shootout is a major economic driver in the state of Missouri, and it's a hidden gem. And so, the goal ultimately is to continue to have big brands like Cadillac join it so that we can make this eventually a bigger and better Shootout. Because eventually, I mean, at the end of the day, the Shootout ultimately provides, financial assistance to the charities around the lake.
And
absolutely. I mean, that's the most important thing.
Yep. Absolutely. Huge charity fundraiser for the lake. So awesome. Cool. Well, again, make plans to go check out all the Cadillacs in all the places. You'll see them buzzing around the lake. You'll see them at Performance Boat Center on Thursday evening, and you'll see them at the Oasis at Lakeport on Saturday, and you can check them out there. This is all we got for our episode of Take on the Lake. Thanks for tuning in, and maybe we'll see you this weekend.